Hi, so I'm Dafydd Llywelyn. I'm the Police and Crime Commissioner for the Dyfed-Powys Police Force area. So I was elected in 2016, first of all, and I've since been re-elected on two occasions. So this is my third term in office. I was elected once again back in May of last year. So that's who I am. And I've worked within policing since 2001 in different roles. So I like to share this with people that I've lived in each of the 4 counties of the Dyfed-Powys area. So when I was born, my father was a deputy head teacher at Preseli School in Pembrokeshire, Crymych. So that's where I first lived. And then we moved around the Force area. I lived in Powys for a short while. I currently live in Ceredigion in a village called Llandysul, but I grew up in Newcastle Emlyn, which is in Carmarthenshire. So I've lived in all of the 4 counties of the Force area, which is a nice little badge of honour that I share with people. But I'm from Newcastle Emlyn. I grew up there, played lots of sport, played football for Newcastle Emlyn, and still spend a lot of time in that area. So the sort of Tavy Valley area from Cardigan up to Lampeter is my stomping ground. Yeah, so my main role as the Police and Crime Commissioner can be sort of cut up into 3 main things. So the first one is that I set the strategic direction for the force. So I engage with the public about what the priorities for the force should be, policing. So that's one of the main responsibilities, so setting the strategic direction. And just last week, actually, I've launched my new police and crime plan. So there's a police and crime plan that Dyfed-Powys Police work towards. And then we also work with other agencies in the criminal justice arena to work on that police and crime plan. So set the strategic direction is number 1. Second one is that I set the funding. And I've got the unenviable task and decision to make on people's council tax for policing. So I'm in charge of all of the description is the totality of funding for policing. And then the third bit, which is perhaps the one that I have most fun in undertaking, is I hold the force to account. So that's where I have regular meetings with the Chief Constable and ask about the performance of the force. So they are the 3 main roles that I undertake: the strategic direction, the finances, and then the holding to account of the force. And then the 2 other elements that I do, one is that I commission services directly. So I'm responsible for the victim services, for example, and a plethora and a list of long list of services that we commission into the sort of force area, into the Dyfed-Powys area. And then finally, the final bit is the engagement with the public, which I really enjoy doing. So I get out, and I'm out on an engagement day today in Carmarthen, meeting with yourselves, but meeting with other people and trying to share with people the role of the Police and Crime Commissioner, what I do, and understand maybe the pressures that people have, and they want the support of the Commissioner then to ensure that the police and other criminal justice agencies are responding to the needs of the community ultimately. Yeah, so I've explained a lot of the work that I do, and I've got an office that does that, but I guess that a lot of my work is quite administrative. I read lots of reports, I go to lots of meetings, talk to people, make presentations, and speak publicly. Do interviews, sometimes with the media, so you might see my face on the news occasionally talking about issues or incidents that have come to light. So it's quite a varied role, and I have to use lots of different skills and abilities. My ability to, critically analyse data, reports, financial information, as well as being confident in speaking publicly as well. So yeah, my role entails lots of different facets of activity, and I really enjoy it, which is why I still do it. I've been doing it for nearly 9 years now, and I've got another 3 years in this term of office, and who knows, I may or may not stand for another election to see how long I can continue as the Police and Crime Commissioner in Dyfed-Powys.
Yeah, that's good.
It's really, really important to have that, what they describe as a mandate from the public. So unlike lots of other people that work in the public domain, so people who are maybe chief executives of the unitary authorities or people that work, on the health board, for example, I am directly elected by the public. So that mandate of having people voting for you and giving you, in effect, their support to undertake the work is really, really important. It's important to me on a personal level, but it's also important for the public to have what I would describe as agency in the decision-making of not just the police service, but also influencing the wider criminal justice system in Dyfed-Powys. So that's the importance of the role and the importance of having the support and the mandate of being elected by the public. And if the public aren't then therefore happy with the services and the decisions that I make as the Commissioner, they are able to vote for somebody else in the future to change that direction. A hate crime is an incident where an individual is in effect targeted for their vulnerability, and there are a number of vulnerabilities that you would list. So if somebody has been targeted for disability, or maybe their sexual orientation, or a difference of some kind, and there is a definition that lists those. So that is what a hate crime is, and we are encouraging people that do experience this type of, or these types of incidents, to contact the police. You know, and you can contact the police by ringing 101, but you can also go online and use the direct messaging services that the force have to contact the force around these incidents. And then the police can assess that incident to see whether a crime is committed, because there's a difference between a hate incident and whether there's a crime that's got a hate element to it, which is a hate-related crime, therefore. And then the police will make a judgment on that and seek to get the best evidence and take that forward then through the criminal justice system if required. So it's quite difficult for the police to protect people from hate crime, because the police find themselves very often in a discussion in relation to people saying that they've got a right to, you know, say things and self-expression and to say what they want to say, in particular around online hate, which we've seen a huge increase, sadly, in recent years within our communities. So it's very difficult sometimes for the public to prevent that from happening. I think one thing that the police are very strong on and would like to develop even further is to make people resilient to responding to it and being able to respond proactively to some incidents that are brought to their attention. It is one where we basically need to ensure that people feel that if you are a victim, that you then feel you can reach out to the police, but also to other agencies, because it might not be the police that are best placed to support individuals. It could be that there are other groups out in the community that can help people and advise people on the next steps ultimately. So for me, it would be concentrating on making the community resilient and call out incidents of these nature and have the confidence to come forward, because we know that sadly people are also suffering in silence, and vulnerable individuals who have been victims of hate incidents and hate crimes are not necessarily coming forward, and therefore the police don't know about it. So the key message from me would be communicate with the police service, tell them about the incident, and seek out help where you can. No, just to thank you for the opportunity to have an interview with yourselves and to share sort of part of what my role is as the Police and Crime Commissioner, and also shining the light on hate crime and hate incidents, which is something that is underreported, I would suggest. And the big message would be for people to come forward, contact the police in order for action to be taken.